Hi guys, and welcome back. Again, my name's Dr. Shelley Sommerfeldt, coach and psychologist with the Loving Roots Project. And today's video is on coping with stress. I think stress is one of the most common and challenging issues that we all face. And stress can really impact so many areas in our life. It can affect our physical health, our mental health, emotional well-being, even our relationships and our cognitive functioning. So it's really essential that we're working to better cope with stress and to reduce its effect on our well-being. In today's video, I'm going to briefly discuss some of the different areas of coping. Number one, behavioral strategies. These are actual activities that you can use to counteract the negative effects of stress. And number two, cognitive restructuring. This is a mental exercise that focuses on changing your perspective and your mindset and the way that you think about stress. And number three, preparation, meaning we will look at ways to better prepare for future incidents of stress. So let's begin with number one, behavioral strategies. Again, these are activities that you can engage in that help to reduce stress. So for example, physical activities. This could be exercising, going to the gym, hiking, yoga, going for a walk. These are activities that get you physically active, which helps you to cope with stress. Another category, relaxation exercise. So that could be things like getting a massage, taking a hot bath, listening to calming or relaxing music, meditating, or even a mindfulness activity. Taking that moment to really calm yourself in the midst of stress is very important. So some other things you could do include writing in a journal, practicing gratitude, reading a book, going to the movies, or even playing an instrument. It's really any hobby or activity that you enjoy that you can use as a coping skill to reduce stress. So oftentimes these are things that we already do. But it's just in the times of stress, we tend to forget to do them. This is one of the most common issues that I've seen with many people I work with is when they're experiencing a high level of stress, all their coping skills go out the window. And they frequently say things like, I don't have time to do those activities. But it's those activities that will actually help you to reduce stress and cope better. So it's important that you make the time to implement that self-care. So the second area we'll look at is cognitive restructuring. So again, this is a mental exercise that's focused on changing your perspective and the way that you think about stress and your situation. It's the process of recognizing unhealthy thinking patterns and changing them into more positive ones. So for example, when people are really stressed, I often hear things like, this is all horrible, everything's bad, it will never get better. And this is an example of what we call all or none thinking. It's seeing things as black and white versus things tend to be in the gray area and it's somewhere in the middle. But when you're stuck in that, you only see it one way or the other way. So a healthy way to change that statement would be to say something like, this is temporary. It will get better and I will get through this. Although this may sound overly simplified and cheesy, there's really strong evidence and research to show that positive thinking can be powerful. This allows us to change our perspective and view our situation differently. It's also about positive self-talk and speaking to yourself in a positive, loving, and encouraging way. Saying things like, I can do this. I can get through this. It's so helpful in times of stress. So lastly, preparation. And this is really about the future preparation and learning from our past mistakes so that we can do it better and differently in the future. But it's recommended that you do this exercise in a calm period of your life. So when you're more relaxed, that way you can review the previous stressful periods and look back and think, how can I do that differently? Is there something that I can control and change in the future? So for example, you may have taken on too many projects voluntarily. Then you may think to yourself, how do I not take on so much in the future? Maybe you have to set better boundaries with other people and tell them no so that you're not overwhelmed. Or perhaps it's something that you cannot control. This often happens with work. We can't control the amount of work that we have, or people give us additional projects. So if it's something that's outside of your control, you may have to think to yourself, how can I better use my coping skills in the future and actually plug in some of those activities that will help me reduce stress. Now, today's video only discussed a few components of coping, but if you'd like more information, you can go to my webpage and find an online class that I created on stress management. Now, in this class, we go more deeply into different components of stress, such as the negative impacts, the benefits of calming, how to have better balance in our life, discuss strategies to reduce stress. Of course, we focus on that cognitive restructuring, as well as mindfulness and establishing healthy habits. I hope you found this video helpful today, and thank you for joining me.